Well, hello there. How are we all doing this evening? We are looking forward to the launch of a brand new one-day special. It's happening right now and it's studio light. That means we've got a very special guest, doesn't it? It means we've got Lou with us as well. She's going to be joining us live on Skype with inspirational demonstrations as always. I don't doubt that for a second. Shall we say good evening to Lou? There she is. Oh, Lou, how are you doing?
I'm good. Glad to be here again.
Wonderful.
Exciting.
You look excited actually about this.
Yeah,
wonderful. Oh, we've got a great one-day special for everybody. Now, of course, Lou, do stay with us, of course. You're going to be showing us some wonderful demonstrations, but let's have a look at the one-day special. In fact, we've got two different options for you here. So we're going to look at the first row, or the top row of our lovely display here, first of all. So you can see you have got stamps and you've also got a die set in here. I've got to say that feather, that die is absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous. Now this is called It's a New Day. So this is our first option that we're looking at here. For the one-day special, you've got that saving as £7. I'm going to say to you, remember these savings as we go through as well. So a £7 saving if you're going for this one. Let's just have a little look at what we've got here and then I'll show you a few samples as well. Lou, tell me about the option we're looking at first of all. What do you love about this?
Well, we've got a mandala, we've got the elements to make your own mandala, and we've got good old feathers. I think I was just looking at that price. Oh, that's wonderful, because you've got everything you need, but I'd have to buy two. But the idea is, that you know, like feathers, everybody loves them. They're not lavenders, lace, mandalas. It's got that lovely feel to it, like spring and all
Definitely.
the nice things that we can look forward to.
Absolutely fabulous collection, and as you say, a great saving there and a great price. But there's more. We'll just go to option 2 because the one-day special, you do have the two options. So a different name for the second collection here. So again, you've got, of course, the stamps and the dies again. This is Creative Minds. So the same price, the same saving there. It is just another option under item number 571518. Again there, Lou, you can see you've got that sort of lace element in the stamps there. You've got that beautiful frame that's made of those florals.
And you've got, with the lace, they're all individual, or like I've done in some of my work, where I've put them all together to create like my own style lace. But I'm going to do the demo on that floral frame one. That is absolutely, you've got a card made, absolutely beautiful, and I'm going to use it with some of the elements that are coming up later on in the show, but absolutely beautiful collection altogether, that.
It really is, and actually you can see the frame here as well. Let's just turn that around so you can see the dimension we've got there. But you may have guessed, and I think a lot of you have found out already, when it comes to the one-day special, yes, it's available, but with Studio Light, we usually see this, don't we? We have a complete collection. You've already found it as well. So that means when we're looking at the one-day special, both of those collections there, plus everything else that we're seeing in front of me here, wow, this really is spectacular. I mean, we're talking more dies in here, we're talking paper pads, we're talking die cut elements as well. All for under £100 there as well. We've got some beautiful samples here, Lou. I've got to say, I am loving the colour scheme that we've got here. The craft card, you've got the blues, almost a denim blue in here. We can see those colours running throughout the paper pads as well. Aren't they stunning?
Yeah, they're really lovely. But there again, as you can see, some of the samples, you can, flash the colour up and make it really zingy. But I just like craft card, and I love it with blue because it just makes that lovely. It's got a lovely mixture, hasn't it? So, but yeah, all the elements with it.
Yeah,
it's good price that for everything.
Do you know, we do have individuals available as well, but of course the value is in the full collection. I'm just going to show you the reverse of some of these as well as the fronts because they are double-sided. We are going to go through everything properly so we can have a really good look at this. But, you know, absolutely gorgeous collection. Oops, there they go, there they go. There we are. Now, with the papers, I will just tell you, if you're going for those individually as well, when you go for the full collection, you're going to get one of each of those. There are individuals available and you'll get double the amount there as well, but you'll find everything on the website. Let's have a look at that full collection because, oh, there's so much to see. We really, really have. Absolutely gorgeous collection. But we are going to go through it and look at everything in much more detail. But the details are there for you. If you're a Freedom member, it's a why not deal as well. £30 and 73 pence is the saving if you're a Freedom member here. So if you're not and you're going for this collection, join the club because you will make those savings today. So bringing that price down, and of course we've got Flexi for you as well. 3 payments of £32.18. 813894 is the item number, but of course we do want to break it down so you can see exactly what you're getting. So we've had a look at the one-day special, we've had a look at those 2 different options there, and I've got to say there's some lovely inspiration on the packaging as well. But when I did mention extra dies, Lou, we've got some dies here that we're looking at right now. These are so useful, aren't they?
There's something for every occasion there. It can be birthdays, weddings, and even sympathy, because you can make a nice life. But wine and all that, wine, you know what I mean, celebration, teddy bears. So they've even thrown a little bit of grunge in that. It makes me laugh, that, because I love that. It could be a tab on a bag or a package. It could be a label. But yeah, they've thought of everything.
They definitely have.
The cork in the bin.
Do you know, it's a lovely mix to have something like this as well, a little bit of grunge and then something cute like the teddies, because generally when we craft, we do make items for other people and everybody has different tastes. So the fact that you've got all those different sorts of designs, those different styles in there, it just makes it even more special. I've just turned around one of the die sets there so you can see exactly what you're getting, because there's some lovely inspiration on the back. Do you know, in the blues again, those denim blues, don't they work beautifully? They
do. They just, I don't know. I wouldn't say the bright colours because they're quite subtle, but it's just a combination of that wonderful, like earthy feel, but with the sky blue. It's beautiful. And denim. Everybody loves a bit of denim.
Love it.
Well,
I've just spotted a sample that actually works very, very well with that particular die set in the blue and the white. Isn't that lovely on the craft card? Oh, I think this is my new favourite colour scheme, you know, Lou. I'm loving this.
I tell you what, though, it's that's a really good to show you that all those elements are separate.
Yes.
That you can separate each of those elements and use them for something else if you want.
And there, if you want to go with very bright colours, look at that. Yeah. Oh, well done to the design team again, as always. Absolutely. Magnificent work. But of course, this is just another small element of the one-day special. In fact, the full collections. We've got the one-day special, 2 options, both included. All those savings that you've seen on the individuals will be carried over onto the full collection with that extra on top as well. Now, we've got some embossing folders next for you, so let's take a look at those. Now this is lovely. I can see there with the packaging, I presume that's just replicating what's on the embossing folder itself. You've got that lovely sort of background there and that lace element in this one as well, Lou.
Yeah, it's got a cutting edge that you can take out if you want.
Has it?
So, yeah, at the bottom there's a cutting blade. So if you want to, it all comes out at the bottom, that dark blue piece, that's the cutting blade. So that'll die cut the edge and then it'll emboss it in the folder. You can just see there.
Yeah, I didn't realise that was separate.
You can take the die out and then just have it as an extra banner piece at the bottom. It just sticks on and off. It's a really good little idea. But yes, I love that size. That's my favourite size at the moment. And I like the idea of using that edge on anything else I want. There,
I can see it now. So it's a proper die that's inset into that folder there. Oh, what a lovely way to emboss and die cut at the same time. That is so pretty. I can see that being used on so many projects as well. Then we have a paper padding. Now, this is just one of 2 of the paper pads. We've also got die cut elements as well. I do have one that I can do a little bit of a flick with as well, just to show you. Again, do you know, the lovely sort of distressed areas on some of these pages. You've got script in there. You've got areas you can write on that one as well, which is beautiful. Lou, this again, you know, you could add more to it. You can ink over the top, you can spray, you can emboss, you can die cut these out. How pretty.
I mean, a lot of these, they're sort of finished items in their own right, but also they're waiting for you to add your own element to it. So even when you finish with them, it looks like you've printed the whole thing off.
It certainly does.
These colours, again, are reminiscent of that old paper feel and tea staining and stuff. And then you've got the lavenders, you know, and that looks like handmade paper.
Do you know, I was just going to say that.
It looks real. I was like, took this thing in it. Yeah, was that?
Yeah. Like, you're wanting to stroke it, you think, well, that must be textured, but it's not. It is super smooth, but it really looks as though that texture is just popping out there. And as well, that lovely little stitch detail at the bottom. Isn't that nice with the broken thread?
And you really do. And when people get it home, you really want to pick that to see
Yeah.
if it'll unravel.
Thinking if I pull that thread, will it unpull all the zigzag there? But it won't. Do you know, very, very clever indeed. So there we've got another paper pad. Then we move to the centre here. Oh, we've got more dies now. Lou, these are gorgeous.
This is my favourite die. I adore peacocks. It's one of the things that I just think absolutely stunning. So the envelopes here, you can use them as an envelope, you can use them as a journal page, you can use them a card, but that separate die, even the waist I've used, it's stunning. It's a real peacock feel to it. I love these.
They are absolutely gorgeous. How many dies have we got in total there? Because often with studio light, we see the die sets and we think, oh yeah, there's more than one in there, but there's not, as you know, there's more than you actually realise sometimes. Love the fact you've got that separate eyelet in one of those as well. So useful.
That is so useful. Yeah, it really is. And there's another one further on, I think, that top one, and then there's another one, and it makes a great die for, as you've seen in one of the samples, for wrapping string round. But there's quite a few. I think there's about four or five in each, because even the little corners in the peacock style one are separate, so that everything's separate. I'd have to sort of take them apart. Yeah, can you see the corner above the peacock? Even that's separate, and then around the peacock, and then the peacock feathers itself. So there's quite a few in each one.
Do love this. All part of the full collection again. And right in front of those dies, we do have the die cut book as well for you. And these are always very popular. When we see them on previous shows, you know, they've been part of bundles, they've been available in different ways, but all part of this main collection again. These are pre-die cut for you, so you've got lots and lots of ideas and ways. Oh, look at that. How pretty is that? Beautiful.
That's the one I'm using.
Is it?
That's the one I'm using.
In the first demonstration?
And it's the colours.
Love it. Love it.
One.
And then on the back, you've got that inspiration again there. Beautiful. Let's have a look.
Even the back.
Yeah, definitely cut these out, use them. Don't waste anything at all. In fact, we were looking at the packaging. You've kind of got that distressed element in all the packaging, so always use every scrap that you can. That is a lovely book. Let's have another look at the bundle so you can really appreciate what you get in here as well. Don't forget, do become a Freedom member, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on those extra savings. There is so much available here. Now, almost 20% of the stock has gone as well. We still haven't finished showing you all those individual elements as well, so there is more just to go through. But look at that bundle there. Just fancy receiving that. Many of you will be doing because you've purchased already, but it's a why not deal. So if you are purchasing, as a reminder, and we do like to do this, and I know sometimes it sounds like we're repeating, but it's so important. If you're going for the full collection and you are not a Freedom member, join, give it a try for £5.97, because you will still make those further savings. Don't miss out on those savings. There you can see all of those wonderful, you know, no contract, unlimited standard delivery there, the exclusive discounts, the monthly newsletter, the members badge as well, all for that £5.97. And when it comes to the full collection, we are spreading the cost 3 ways as well. So 3 payments of just £32.18. Just to remind you the dispatch date, it is in the 8th of February, so only 8 days' time. We're into February tomorrow, so not long to wait at all. Now, we're moving on because we're still going through this bundle. Now, we've got another embossing folder there, haven't we? We've got a die in this one as well, Lou.
Yep, the middle part of it is a die, which can be taken out again. So you've got the whole embossing, like doily effect. And then if you put the die in, it'll die cut the lace element in the middle. So you've got both. And you can, again, like I said, you can take it out and use the die on its own.
That is
so
stunning,
it's a really clever little idea.
That is absolutely beautiful. Oh, these are some of the nicest embossing folders I think I've seen. I absolutely adore them all. Now then, we have got more as well, because we've got another paper pad for you as well. I do have one here as well. I've got to say, I'm loving the browns and the craft card effect, but when it comes to the blues, the denim colours in here again texture. That looks like a really washed out denim, doesn't it, with the texture there?
Yeah, it looks like your favourite jeans. I like these watercolour brush strokes, but you can see how the browns and the blues have been concentrated. I'm not a flower person, but since I've been using these, I've just realised how nice it is to use them, and they're really simple to use. So I am now a flower person.
I'm definitely a flower person, and I've got to say there's some very, very pretty flowers in here. But also I do like a bit of grunge as well, Lou, and I would say that's a lovely grunge there with the stars.
It is, and it suits anybody that. I mean, I think it suits all sorts of cards. Again, this could be, you know, a lovely simple card with just a nice sentiment on.
Definitely. And there you can see all of the different designs. 36 sheets there as well. 170 GSM. Absolutely gorgeous. But we still haven't quite finished because we've then got more papers for you. Now you've got some A4s and some 12 by 12s. Now at the bottom of the screen we're going to give you the details for the extra papers. If you want to go for these individually, you're actually getting double what you're seeing in the collection. But you are going to get one of each of these in this whole collection. So there you have. You want extras just to add into the collection, you can do, and you can split that payment 3 ways as well. If you're a little bit confused looking at the website, I don't think some of the pages quite match up correctly, but these are beautiful. You can see them. Oh, they're not in the picture, so it might be a little bit confusing, but you will get them. So the full bundle, the full collection, you will get these. I think these are missing off our photograph. These are double-sided as well. I'm sure we're going to see much more of them with Lou, so I think when we get to demonstration, we'll really appreciate what we've got here as well. Item number 813894, that's what you need for the full collection, but we have got more inspiration as well because the design team have worked so hard on this. Let's show you that inspiration. More samples here on a video. There's some beautiful samples there, and you can be creating something just as beautiful yourself with this collection. Now hopefully Lou's ready for a demonstration. I can't wait because she gave us a hint as to what we're going to see with her as well. But don't forget, this is the launch show. We're already very busy on the full collection. Remember, if you are looking at individuals, there are savings as well, but those savings are always carried over onto the full collection, and then we give you extra on top as well. You know, it is value for money, isn't it? I can't get over those embossing folders as well. I think they are absolutely beautiful. The papers, the dies, the stamps, there is so much here. There's something for absolutely everyone. Now, we did get promised by Lou, I believe, that we're going to see one of the stamp sets from the One Day Special itself. I think it's that frame. Yeah. Shall we go over to Lou and see what she's up to? Lou, are you ready? There we are. We can see it.
I'm all ready, yeah.
Wonderful
just
stuff.
To show you. Well, I was messing and playing and just having a really nice, and I just wanted to show you different colours quickly, how lovely it can look. You know, I've got a lovely it's sort of watercolour, but I've used, instead of the brown, let me just move that so it's nice and flat. Instead of the brown, I've used a gold, which works really well. And then I've done it a pink version. So you can change the colour, it changes the feel and who you're sending it to.
Yeah.
And then I did a little trick on craft card,
nice.
which it's, you know, you could just see the glisten of the gold on one. And then what I thought was, this element in the book goes really well because it's got the brown of the Hessian and it's got the extra leaves, plus the little sentiment. So all in all, you can do whatever you want with this, but it's such a lovely one to start with. So I thought, just to give you a few ideas of how it can change with colour, you know, it makes a big difference. So my advice is, it's a very big stamp. Now, I made the mistake at the beginning and I put it on here, and the problem with it was I had a bubble. Now, a bubble was when you put your stamp down and you just go like that, you'll get a bubble there.
Oh, so there's air trapped. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what happens is you get, I'll show you, you'll get that. So I've cut that out of there, and you can see if you're doing a card that's got, like, you really need it to be nice and clean in the middle, that won't help. So always make sure that the middle's down. But it didn't really matter to me. I wasn't using it like that. Now I've made sure that all the cards I'm using are the same size. So I've gone for, I think it was 6 by 6. I can't remember, but it's square.
Okay.
So that I can use several all together and layer them the same way that sample was done. So that doesn't matter how, as long as the outside edge all fits, I can decoupage them as much as I want.
Of course.
Look at that, I've only been here 4 minutes. Look at that.
You've just done that since we've gone to air.
I've just got sat here. What am I doing? So I'm using my stamp, I know I'm disgraceful, stamp platform. Now, my advice would be, if you're going to use a stamp platform, one of the things you can do is make sure that everything is the same size, and then it doesn't matter how you stamp, you know, like if you're dodgy like me with stamping, it'll work out. Another thing is, think about the colours you're going to stamp.
Yeah.
If you stamp it in blues and distressed blues, then you can watercolour it out. If you're stamping in, I'm stamping in a Versaclear because I want that effect. I'm using the watercolour card. So just think about, do you want it striking? Do you want it subtle? And those are the things that, you know, before you actually commit to your card, but actually, even then. Now, I've got an habit of always hitting these. Now, it doesn't really matter. Well, I'm trying to be clean, Catherine. It's not working. Look at that.
Well, it's a bit late, I think, Lou, for that, to be quite honest.
I've got it all over my face. I'm not showing you now. I've got it all over my face. So what you do is then, I'm just going to move that over. It doesn't really matter because I've done one.
Okay.
I've moved my stamp, can't you tell? And always, if you do overstamp like that in the middle, avoid the middle.
Yeah.
And then just pull that like that. And then what you can do is re-ink and pull it down again, avoiding that. But that's just to show you that I need some more ink on it there.
Okay.
But I've not got any of that over stamped dye there. So you get that.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not going
course.
to do it. Right. So I've been using my stamp platform with these because that mandala is stunning, and it does it when you do a double stamp or you know, a little bit off. It looks weird, so I've made sure that I've been using my platform so I can keep stamping if I miss out.
Of course.
So what I've done, I've got this blue here and I've got this card, they're all the same, and I'm using some of the Marlene's watercolours, and I've just got them off to the side here. Now you can use anything you want. You could use your Ecoline pens, your inks, if anyone's a bit unsure. On Facebook, I tend to do some work most days that are based on colours and ink. So, you know, this is only like one trick. You know, there's many of them. Lots of good people do it. So I've just done a line of blue watercolour, ultramarine.
Okay.
Now, the reason I've done it like that is because I'm going to put another colour next to it, which is more of a what we call a warm. Right, okay. So I'm not going to do it all because it would be boring, but you just really quickly.
Oh, that is quick. So you're not taking care of all, you're just basically just applying that colour randomly.
Slapping it on is the word.
Yeah.
So, because once you've got a little bit of water on this and a little bit of base colour, then anything on top sits better, it works better, and it moves better because it's like having a foundation.
Yeah.
Now, what you can do on the brown card, which I'll show you in a bit, is you can actually get put a very thin layer of gesso on, and then that works the same, and it gives it like not a barrier, but like a foundation.
Yeah.
So now I've got that floaty look that
Okay.
sketch artists and things like that do. When you see a lovely floaty card and you think, oh, how have they done that? And it really is quick. So very light blue. Very light blue, nothing heavy, but then you can go back in. Now, this is where you choose your colours, and again, it's so quick. Now I'm going to go with a couple of different ones, and all I want to show you is you just put a little bit of colour around there, clean your colour off,
Okay.
wash your brush out, wiggle it out, and it's done.
Yes. Oh, instantly. What a difference.
Instant. And it's not hard to do, but don't do them all the same colour one. You know, pick out several blues and do several different ones, and then that way you can get whatever you want.
Oh, a
done,
lovely
sort of
lime
thing.
green
And
would work well with those blues as well that you're doing there, Lou. That would look really effective.
It would. I've done it on the wrong one, but never mind. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do a quick swatch on here. Another thing you can do, which is really quick, is get a really big brush, and if you're really not worried about it, you just go mad, you put a big wash, and you can just seriously,
that is quick.
because I've not washed, but because I've cut out the middle, it's easier for you. Not when it's not cut out or anything, you tend to sort of try and keep between the lines, but when it's like this, you just go for it. Now what's happening is where I've cut the lines and made it a little bit raggedy, it's catching the ink and the paint a little bit more.
Yeah,
So
but that's
I'm
good
just
because it
running
defines the edges,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It gives it more depth. Lou, we're very busy on the
Absolutely.
full collection. Everybody's loving it. Over 20% of the stock has already gone. Remember, from
Brilliant.
individuals, all savings carried over, the extra saving on top. It is a why not deal as well, and we're splitting it 3 ways.
Right. Now, this is just like little tips because it's so easy to get a beautiful card. Very simply with this. Now, you can see it's starting to darken around the edges, which I really want. But again, if I want to just drop in, this is using a bigger brush in it, and I'm not, I'm not worried about colour and stuff. I just like to get the colour on. So it's so simple. The less you think about it, the nicer it'll look. And I'm going to use, as you said, a couple of more colours now. I'm going to drop in, and you'll see the difference in it. I'm going to drop in a bit of purples now, and it's going to look
Lovely.
like lavenders. So the last bit is dead simple, what I'm going to do. Now, they've got some of the lovely lace
It's got a lovely
on it,
hydrangea look there, actually, Lou, with the purples and the
perfect.
blues.
That's exactly what I want, yeah. So what you can do, if you wanted, is to just, because it's light around the edge, my advice would be to really wash this down and then don't paint it, just colour it, because then anything white against that, you'll see this lovely sort of lavender.
Yeah.
And it is, the thing is, just don't be frightened of it. If you don't like it and there's something, say you do this, and you don't, it just comes straight
just
off.
lift the colour off.
The little tricks I'm going to show you now, dead simple. All you're going to do is get a little bit of the dark. I've mixed a little bit of brown and a little bit, there's green, a little bit of brown, and I'm just going to drop that in between, not everywhere. All I'm going to do is create a little bit of shadow, and it's not overpowering. It's got the colours that are already in it, but can you see it's starting to use...
It's separating those flower heads, isn't it, as well?
Perfect. Now, talking about flower heads, I'm going to leave that a second because I've got this wonderful sheet. Now, the colours do go, but they're a bit different for me. So what I want to do is just show you a little trick. I love these flowers, but I've got some white paint. It could be any white paint.
Okay.
And I'm just going to get a tiny bit there, not a lot. You can use gesso. I am just going to mix, you can hardly see that, a wash of the blue with that. Now, because I want these to match with that.
Right, okay, so you're just kind of knocking the colours back a little bit.
Yeah, and I can add a little bit of the blue if I want, the purple even, and then you just...
That's a great trick actually, Lou, because if you have got a colour that doesn't quite work, mixing in the way that you have done there with the colours that you are creating that card with, it does pull it all together.
Now you add the blue, and you do it messy, you add the blue and you see others down there, and because you've already got like the white on and now you're adding the blue, it now looks more like the colours you've used rather than the purples, you see?
It's made a big difference, hasn't it?
It is, and you can add a little bit more white if you want, and just... So that's, sometimes we get a bit stumped with little additives and we think that doesn't go. It doesn't matter because white paint is your friend here. If you want to make it a bit dark, I'm just messing there, but I'll just put a little bit of dark blue in the middle just to give it a bit more depth. So I've got that. Now, the little trick, go back to this one. In this one as well, I have done a background and I've done a gold around the edge and then pulled it in with a wash. So I wanted it to look like the brown colour that we've got. And I wanted it to sort of not match that, but go with it.
Yes,
and I thought that gold goes quite well. Now I've got that out of a set. And the other thing is you can actually use it for the middle of the little flowers. Now, you could use your gems, anything. Plus, I just love gold. So I've got this. I've got these colours.
Beautiful metallics there.
Yeah, and you can use any metallics you want, but you need a fine brush. And I've got one with about 3 hairs on here. That'll do. And all you're going to do is you're going to use it like a pencil. So I'm just going to get a little bit on there and then just draw with it. And what that does is separate the little stamens out and just gives it a little bit of colour. And it's not a lot.
No, but it's there and it makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. And it brings all the elements together and you can add whatever you want. Now, if you do 2 of these or 3, like I'm not too sure, I think it might be Lizzie's done it. But if you do like the sample, you can choose the best one for the front one. It might be number 2, number 3, I don't know, but then that's the one you cut out. But you can do it as big or as many of them as you want. Layers. I mean, you could do like 3
Yeah,
or
of
4 layers.
course.
Right. I'm happy with that. I quite like that.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So now what you can do is there is this one. The best time for beginnings is now, which would look really nice in there.
It would, that would work beautifully. That die cut pad, Lou, actually, that's just part of the full collection. I mean, it's a very small part, but you're just using that one sheet there. How many sheets do we get? I know there's there's more than 300 elements in total in that pad.
Yeah, 300 elements. I think there's
a lot,
20
isn't
sheets. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20.
Wow.
20 sheets. Now, if I was going to use that, what I would do is a little tip is just, I'd get my big wash brush and I'd get the gold, because I don't want the white, because if I put the white on there, you'll see it's very stark.
Yeah, it's a little bit too stark, yeah.
It looks like it's plonked on.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go over with the gold and I'm going to get my...
oh, nice.
Clean that off. Now, if I show you now...
Oh, yes, what a difference.
So a bit more in the middle if you want, and it's to sort of replicate the gold in the back, but I don't want to leave it like that. I would generally leave this now to dry, because what happens is I've got a wet gold colour there, and if I add blue to it, I'm going to get green.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try my best not to sort of mess that up, but I dry it at home. And what I'm going to do is just, while it's wet, just paint the edge with blue. And the reason I'm doing this is that capillary action will allow the water to sort of seep down. And
yes,
if it doesn't, just give a little bit of a wiggle on it. And it's amazing what that does. So if you don't want to stamp, or you haven't got that, or you've just got the book, the die cut, these are so handy. They really are, because they're sturdy enough for you to throw a lot on this. You know, normally they fall apart, paper pads, but these are so strong. So I'm happy with that. So now I'll put that on, just to show you how that looks now. That looks like it's part of it now.
It does, that works beautifully. Oh, I'm loving those colours.
So you could then, if you wanted to, now I'm in my element with these, you could now, you know, bring all these in as well. Oh, don't start me off with these.
Oh, they are beautiful, aren't they? I'd almost forgotten about the feathers. There's so much in this collection.
Absolutely. I mean, I could go on forever, and then I can't reach them all. I'm not getting them. But what I've done is I've got the dark one now. I've done this one purposely dark.
Okay.
And I've done the top one purposely light so that people see.
Yeah.
I've done this one purposely pink so people can see. And then I've just done a full wash, which you can add pencil, crayons, and anything to. But the trick is, because it's all the same size, they'll fit together. So you can put it on there, but there's no point. So change it around, and you'll see the back and front then. You'll see elements peeking through. So you can do it, they more or less sort of fit. That way and that way they fit, but then they change like that. So you choose whichever you want. And all I'm going to do is dead simple. Now, I do like to raise this, but I think I tried one of them, and I tried it with the white, and it looked so stark. I just thought it just looks like you've come along and plonked that on, and it didn't look nice. But if you've got some brown lace on this, would look lovely. Or if you got that and cut that shape out of it and add that on it.
Do you know, for that colour, Lou, I suppose you could even use a tea stain if you haven't got the appropriate ink.
Yeah, you can. And if you tea stain it, then you can also put the metallic over the top.
Yeah.
Now, I stamped it a few times just to see what it's like. I'm not going to mess about doing that, but what I would do is think about the layers. I'm going to, hopefully there'll be other videos available for people after the show for Studio Light, where I can show you like different alternatives, and the ladies in the DT are going to show you like their videos. So we're planning a lot for Studio Light now, so that Hochanda, they get the wonderful products from you, and then we follow up with some extra lessons and classes and tutorials, so that they're not lost.
Lou,
because all them
oh, you've done it.
samples-
I was just going to say, if you're wanting a bit of time to take off the foam pad backs, we can just have a bit of a recap and come back to you on that.
Well, please do, but you could do that. I mean, they're not high enough, but what you could do is die cut this element, so I could go into a layer there and die cut a layer out and have it in gradual stages. But the last little bit is all I would do is just either dimensionally.
Yes, yeah, from the die cut sheet.
You see how these colours now go in, whereas before they would have looked too stark. So, yeah, I mean, if you want to do recap, and I'll stick these on.
Okay, that'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Let's have another look at that complete collection. Remember, in our image there, we don't have the papers. You do get the papers included as well. So you're getting even more than what you see in there. So you're getting 4 A4s and 4 12 by 12s, and they are double-sided, on top of what you're seeing in that image there as well. So huge savings. And of course, as a Freedom member, you're making those biggest savings. So don't miss out. Join the club. And we're splitting it 3 ways. Now, we have got the individuals available as well. And some of you may just want to go for, you know, certain stamp sets, embossing folders. When it comes to the one-day special, we've got 2 options for you. So we're going to look at the top shelf first. It's a New Day is the name of our first option. This is where you're going to get that beautiful feather die as well, but you can also see that gorgeous mandala stamp is in there. You've got those sprigs of flowers there as well, and I agree with Lou, very spring-like there. You've got those beautiful sort of almost Indian designs there as well that match so perfectly with the mandala. They are absolutely beautiful. If I may, I've got 1 or 2 more samples I might just show here as well that just correspond with the first selection of the one-day special. And staying with the theme of the craft card there as well. Isn't that beautiful? Just that one sprig there, that one spray of flowers. And then, of course, the mandala. Why not put a teddy bear on there? We'll see that in the full collection. It's part of one of the die sets. But beautiful, beautiful mandala there. Of course, go for your colour. Wow, that's very elaborate, isn't it? Again, staying with the craft card though, but this one here, the feather, I mean, completely different because you've got those very vivid colours as well. And then another one with the mandala, and the way you can separate that and sort of build that together again, decoupage it up, and then another very simple card, but very, very effective. So that's the option, first option on, of course, the one-day special. We've got a second option for you. Now, this is Creative Minds. This is where you will find that beautiful frame that Lou has just been using. So again, we've got 3 stamp sets, and we've also got another die set here for you as well. So we'll just have a little look at these, and then we'll have a look at 1 or 2 more samples that will correspond with this selection from the one-day special. Remember those savings, you are getting them if you're going for the one-day special, but they're also carried over to the full collection. Beautiful. Oh, you've got to go for the full collection really, haven't you? How can you choose between these? Now, we've got some samples there, but another reminder, that beautiful frame there as well, just to show the depth there using those foam pads. Completely different to the version that Lou has just done because, of course, using there the bright colours rather than the muted colours. There you can see that same die cut sheet there as well with some of those stamps. I'll just show you 1 more from this one, and then we'll have a look at what else we've got on offer as well. Actually, I've just spotted something I really like. Do love this. Who's done this? Rachel's done this one. That's very, very effective, isn't it? Gorgeous. So £22.96, 571 518, dispatched from the 8th of February. So you've got the first option or the second option, of course. Do not miss out. But if you're wanting to go for the full collection and make those savings, both of those options will be included in that. Details at the bottom of the screen for that full collection. But we are going through the individuals now. So moving away from the one-day special itself, if you want to go for these dies, which is a great collection, you really have got something for everyone here. 28 dies is what you're seeing here. So you've got beautiful decorative dies, you've got that cake there as well. I must have to remind you again of that cake. Beautiful. You've got those florals in there, you've got the hearts. Love the fact that you've got the individual layers to the cake. So you can go for a single layered cake, you can go for a double layered, or you can go for that tiered cake in its entirety there. Now you've got something for celebrations with the champagne bottle. You can see the cork is separate as well. You can see the banners. You've also got word in there, good luck and so proud. Love that bit of grunge in there. I'm so with Lou on this one. I just love the mix. Beautiful. Just a reminder again of that gorgeous sample that I've got here. Using the cake, the different layers of the cake there in the white and the blue. I just think that is classic. Absolutely gorgeous. £26.96 is the price if you're going for the die collection there. That's £7 saving available, but also carried over onto the full. £292,628. Now the embossing folder is one of my favourite things actually. Now the embossing folder, let me just remind you of that, because if you didn't tune in right at the beginning, this is no ordinary embossing folder. You have got that beautiful design, but you've got that built-in die there as well. So this is a dual purpose embossing folder. It's absolutely gorgeous. I am thinking the wording we've got there might be misspelled. I don't know. Maybe it's a new name, a flodder. I don't know. But that's not all you're getting here. You are getting that beautiful paper pad as well. That's made me smile, that has. It really has. Oh, now we have got the blues and we've got the browns that work so beautifully with your craft card, of course. But I mean the creams, all those neutral tones, add some pop of colour as well. Loving that stitching. I so want to unpull that zigzag. Now you've got all sorts of lovely pages in here. I'm not going to go through every single one, but just so you've got an idea here as well. Don't they look as though you could really feel that texture there? But they're not, they're super smooth. So you can add your ink, you can add your spritzers, you can emboss onto these, you can scrunch them up, you can do whatever you wish. What a lovely collection there. Only £10.98, a £3 saving on that one, 954580. Now in the centre we have those beautiful journal page dies, and you get the die cut block as well. Very, very busy as an individual, this one as well. Part of the full collection, but on its own you are getting those dies, you are getting that die cut block. Over 300 elements just in that die cut block alone. £26.97 is the price. £7 saving, 429087 as an individual. Look at how many dies you get in there. Now you are getting 2 die sets, but I'm not sure how many individuals there are, but there's lots of different options and ways you can work with this. Look at the packaging as well. You are going to use that packaging. 9 dies in total amongst those 2. I've just been and had that confirmed. That little teddy bear also focusing there in the die cut block. Remember, over 300 elements there. Lots to go. No wonder this one's busy. But that £7 saving that you're getting there, you are going to carry over to the full collection again. Let's just show you 1 or 2 more elements from the die cut block. So you can see on the front page there, you can see, you know, certain ones that you're getting. We're not going to go through all 300. There's the one that Lou was working with there. You've got multiples of the same page as well. There, if you want that cuteness there for the new baby. Oh, how sweet is that? And then we've got easels, look, we've got creative items there. Do you know, so much here. Absolutely beautiful. And you do get that inspiration on the back. And just flicking through those few pages there as well, you can see the elements within this book also work with other elements within the full collection. So those previous dies that we did show you there as well. So remember, 429087 is the item number there if you want to go for these as an individual. But we're still keeping going, because also as an individual we can tell you about the other embossing folder with another die in it. Let me show you this one again. This is just beautiful, it really is. These are a great size as well. I think they are a 6x6, might be a little bit bigger actually. There's the die in the centre, but you can see the embossed detail there also. I mean, the detail that you're going to get from this individually. But this bundle does also include a paper pad as well. So we're going a little bit more with the blues in this one. On the front of the pad, you can see exactly what you're getting as far as design goes. You can see you're getting 36 sheets, and there are 170 GSM. But just to show you a few of the pages again here. I mean, that mandala featured with that beautiful denim blue is stunning, isn't it? Then you've got some of the plainer ones with texture on. You've got bold stripes in there. Oh, just, you know, these, use them as they are, but again, add your own creations to them. You know, overstamp, that is so pretty, isn't it? One of my favourites, Gypsophilia. Lovely filler flowers, aren't they? But individually, just beautiful. You've kind of got that industrial feel in this one as well. Love it. So £10.98, that's all it is again for that bundle, a £3 saving. That carried over to the collection. 524685 is the item number. And then the papers, as an individual, you are getting double what you're seeing here. So you've got 4 or 8 in this case, in the individual, 8 of the A4s, and they are double-sided, and also 8 of the 12x12s as well. Now I'm just kind of giving you a hint of what you get in here, because they're all kind of strapped together a little bit, but they are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I dare not pull these out in case everything falls over, but you have got some individual elements that you can cut out there as well. Shall I try and get that out? Oh, they're taped together. I can't do it. I can't do it really, because they're all taped at the back. So There, you've got an idea, haven't you? So you can cut those out individually, but still double-sided. So £10.92, 921594 is the item number. But I can tell you, most of you, and I'm not surprised, are going for the full collection. Almost a quarter of the stock has gone already. Remember, all those individuals that we've seen, everything, including both of those options in the one-day special, are in that collection. You just get 4 of each of the papers. That's the only thing you've got to remember there. And all those savings carried over as well with extra savings on top. In fact, totaling those up, and on top, another £30.73 if you're a Freedom member. It definitely is a why not deal, and splitting that 3 ways as well. So if you want to add in any extra papers, or, you know, if you want to double up on some things, you can split those 3 ways as well by adding them into your basket. 813894 is the item number. And I think Lou's got her cards stuck together and it looks beautiful. Let's have a look at it.
So
oh, Lou, it's gorgeous.
And those paper elements fill in, and what I did was I cut some extra bits out of the card and then restuck them on, so you can do like lots of little bits and bobs. But yeah, it's just how different it looks on there. And then if you wanted to sort of give the same element in the back, I haven't stuck it down for a reason, is you just put a tiny bit of that there, and then when it's dried, you can't really see it now, it gives it a wonderful gold sheen. And like, you can't see it on the telly at the moment, but when it dries, it gives it a lovely gold sheen rather than just a plain black, so it matches this. But yes, simple wonderful card, isn't it? You can also put these on if you wish. You know, the little die cuts in them as well fit really well.
Yeah, you can tuck them in amongst the flowers, can't you, nicely?
Yeah, and actually they look really nice if you've got a bigger card.
Oh yes, so that's effective.
Yeah, so anyway, I just thought I'd show you that before I stick down. I'm going to do a simple one now, using the lavender, and it's really important. Now this is a piece of scrap card. I'm going to work on scrap card first. I'm not using my platform. I'll use my block, I hope. So I've got this lovely one here, and what I'm going to do is, oh, crash bang wallop, I'm going to just show you how easy it is to paint this. It's really easy to paint because it looks like quite intricate. So I'm going to use a black again so you can see, and I'm just, normally I would use probably 2. I'd probably go for green here and then purple on the top, but just for this quick one I'll show you now. So it's very, very detailed, but this is not lavender, but you can easily make it lavender because it just resembles that shape.
Yeah, just stamping that in black ink onto a beautiful sort of inky background would look lovely as well.
It would. It would. Give it a minute to settle.
Okay.
Because people sort of pull the ink off too fast, sorry,
yeah.
And then they think, why it's not stamped. So quite dramatic. Now, all you need is a very fine brush, and you literally, all you're going to use is your brush. So I'll just move it out of the way. So I'm using a purple. You can use it with a little bit of the white we've got there, and you just want to sort of get the colour on a brush. Now, a smaller brush is easier. I'm using a number 1. Okay. So the number 1 is quite, you know, it's got like a small nib, pencil nib. And all I'm going to do is move it that way. And then I'm just going to go a bit more water. You get used to how much water you need when you're doing this. It's quite easy. And I'm just going to put more.
So you're not really painting as such, you're just kind of just dabbing that on there, aren't you, and getting the shape of the brush?
Just getting the shape. So I'm using the underneath, and it's like a V. So down that way, down that way. Now, you don't have to do it like that, but it just works so simply. I'll put a little bit of darker stuff on it. So that's the underneath, and then if you want to do it that way, you can.
Oh, nice, Lou. That's lovely.
And then it doesn't look like I say, originally it does not look like lavender, but just by dabbing this on now, we've now got this feel of lavender. And then whilst it's like that, it's a little trick with white paint again. And I'll show you what it looks like without it.
Okay.
You start doing that.
Ah.
And then what
you
you
could
can do
make
is
corn heads like this, couldn't you, as well?
Exactly. So if you just, that's the sort of shape you're going over with. I mean, I've not done it quite well, but that's the sort of shape I want, because that's how lavender grows. And then, you know, I'll add a little bit of white and just show you how you change it all. So you just flick it on, and that is basically, you just dab, dab, dab. The smaller your brush, the more of a point you get, the easier it is. And then, because I think it's got that feel of lavender.
I agree with you. In fact, I'm hearing a bit of a conversation from the gallery as well. We think the name of the flower might be sea holly, and that is also purple as well. And I'm trying to think of another flower that I've seen growing in my mum's garden that's blue, but I can't think of the name of it either, and it was very similar.
And like we've just said then, all of us, we've got, you know, all these colours, and it will look like any flower you want. So I'm dabbing all over like that. So now we've got the overall feel of lavender. And again, a white paint or a gesso, and you're going to use this as a paint now. And again, it's like, these little tricks are great if you want to sort of get more out of your stamps. So I need to make sure that there's no water on my brush, and I just want neat paint, and I'm just trying to get it to a point like that so that I've got a point. And then all I'm going to do is just paint over it like that, and then we really do get to see the lavender come alive, because it starts to separate it. So
that would be a lovely stamp to go on fabric as well and stitching, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. And if I do a green line through that now, you suddenly realise that, oh yeah, you could make it all green, and you could make it more like a fern. So there's all sorts of things you can do, and then mix it a little bit so we've got like an intermediate colour as well. So you just build it all up. I'm not going to do it all. It's boring.
No, just to let you know, just to give you a time check, we've got about 3 minutes demo time left.
Oh, cool. Right. What you can do then is, don't worry about getting this perfect. I'm just going to show you on a spare piece of card that what you can do is get well or any of the block. It's like a block one. It doesn't matter what really. You're just going to get the colour that you've used there and the colour there, mix it up and paint it on. Now you might need a bit more purple in it. That's cool. Just paint it on, and then just stamp that pretty quick. You won't see the get well, but when I stamp that now, let me just dry that off. I can now stamp that again, and hopefully, if it turns out right, if it's too wet or too dry, you should get the purple coming through. You get me? There we go.
Oh, so you can see it coming through the wording.
You can't see it on the TV, but on it, you can see how fine the line is, and you just get the black get well come through, but it's purple underneath. Yeah. So you can do that to match your colours up.
Lovely stuff.
Or you can do it in white. You can do it in, you know, whatever you choose. Or even you could stamp the get well on that as well. But you just trim that off.
Yeah.
Trim that off to suit. And again, when you're using anything, like if you haven't got the right colour, paint a piece of paper the right colour, and then, you know, I know it's not perfect, but that's, you know, get rid of that. But you know what I mean? You could even paint these sort of purple. I personally leave that as it is, but you could even put these on if you want. But I personally think that cut down on a lavender card or a black card, I think that's stunning. Or even get one of your pens as well, couldn't you?
Definitely.
Pens,
I think some of those lace borders, Lou, would look really nice, just on one edge or the bottom edge there as well, perhaps.
Well, if you did your lace borders, stamp them out, what you could do, I've got a piece of black here, lace borders, stamp them out. You could almost have them as like just small elements of lace. Yeah. Now, I like what girls did before by just putting that on and then, you know, the get well or whatever it is, and it looks like
amazing,
quite arty, that, doesn't it? So, yeah, there's loads you can do. I mean, just it's your imagination.
I have honestly no idea where this hour has run away, how it's run away like it has. I can't believe we're almost at the end of the first hour already. Lou, you're going to be back at 8 o'clock, aren't you? So lots more demonstrations, of course, at 8 o'clock. Lou, for now, Thank you very, very much. Absolutely beautiful. Lots of hints and techniques there that we've not seen before as well, I think. But let's have a final reminder of the full collection. That's where most of you are purchasing. So remember, on this image here, we'll try and get this sorted out for tomorrow, but there is some papers that are also included in the full collection. 4 A4s, which are double-sided, and 4 12x12s. Here they are again. I'm sorry I can't show these a little bit better, but they are taped together at the back, but they are definitely double-sided, and they're very, very pretty indeed as well. Absolutely gorgeous. All included there. 3 payments of £32.18. I would urge you to check your baskets out because we've gone through a lot of the stock already this hour. 813894 is the item number. Let's just say thank you again to Lou and see her one last time before we say goodbye for this hour. Lou, thank you so, so much. We'll let you go and wash your hands ready for the next time. Let you get all messy again now. I love it, love it. Oh, do check those baskets out. We will make those sales in between the shows, remember, as well. But Lou and Janice will be back at 8 o'clock, and we'll see much more of Studio Light during tomorrow as well. I'm going over to see Karen next, so do stay with us.